You're so innocent. You still believe everyone smiles because they're kind, not realizing some only do it to hide their envy. You walk through life thinking hearts are pure, unaware that some people study your kindness just to learn how to destroy it. You have no idea that while you're trying to heal others, someone nearby is quietly hoping you'll break too. You think they care because they listen, but you don't see the quiet hunger behind their sympathy, the kind that feeds on your softness. You're too gentle to realize that your honesty is being used as a weapon in someone else's game. You still trust too easily, not knowing that every secret you share becomes their entertainment when you're not around. You have no idea that your light keeps attracting people who want to stand close, not to warm up, but to dim you. You think love is safe because it feels pure, but some hearts only give affection to gain control. You're so innocent, you mistake manipulation for care and silence for peace. You have no idea how many people pretend to be angels just to stay close enough to study your soul. You think your kindness protects you, but it's the very thing that keeps drawing the wolves closer. You still believe they left because of timing, not because they already had someone waiting. You're too soft to realize that some smiles are rehearsed, some tears are strategic, and some love is conditional. You still think people mean what they say, but you've never heard the whispers they share once you're gone. You're so pure, you keep giving love to people who don't even know what loyalty means. You believe they want your happiness, but in truth, they only want to know what joy looks like before they steal it. You have no idea that the same people who call you angel envy your peace enough to ruin it. You're too innocent to notice that some confessions are traps, not truths. You think you're safe because you mean no harm, but innocence doesn't protect you from darkness that pretends to be light. You're so unguarded that the wrong ones keep finding their way into your sacred spaces. You think they admire your strength, but they're only studying it so they can figure out how to break it. You don't see it yet, but your kindness threatens those who built their worth on deception. You still believe love heals all wounds, not realizing some people love just to reopen yours. You're too gentle to see that your compassion has become someone else's playground. You think forgiveness makes you stronger, but they've learned it makes you easier to manipulate. You're so innocent, you confuse their attention with affection, not seeing how temporary their warmth truly is. You think silence means peace, but sometimes it's just a way to watch you crumble quietly. You believe their eyes tell the truth, unaware how many lies are hiding behind their gentle gaze. You're so trusting, you can't imagine someone loving you just enough to keep you weak. You have no idea how often your name is mentioned in rooms where your presence is mocked, not missed. You're too pure for this world that celebrates cruelty as confidence and betrayal as survival. You still believe love is rare, not realizing how many people say, I love you, without meaning a word. You're so innocent. You don't see that your empathy is their tool, your emotions, their entertainment. You think people leave quietly, but some walk away only after planting seeds of doubt in your heart. You're too soft to notice how easily people twist your goodness into guilt. You still think you're hard to love, not realizing they made you believe that to keep you small. You're so gentle, even betrayal feels like your fault. You don't see it yet, but your silence makes liars comfortable. You think they changed because of love, but love never made them honest. Exposure did. You're too innocent to realize that sometimes closure is just manipulation disguised as kindness. You still believe time heals everything, but time can also deepen wounds that were never acknowledged. You're so naive. You think they left because they cared too much, not because they cared too little. You have no idea how many people smile at you while silently wishing for your downfall. You think they're distant because they're busy, not because they're investing their time somewhere else. You're so innocent. You think everyone has the same heart as you. You believe love is meant to be selfless, yet you've given everything to those who never intended to stay. You think they understand your pain, but they only mirror it long enough to gain your trust. You're so pure that lies sound like poetry to your hopeful heart. You think love is your strength, but it's also the weapon they use against you. You have no idea how your goodness exposes their guilt every time you forgive them. You're so innocent, you mistake comfort for care and care for love. You're so innocent, you don't realize how they study your reactions just to learn how to control them next time. You still think people apologize because they're sorry, not because they fear losing access to your softness. You believe they're quiet because they're shy, not because they're busy calculating your weaknesses. You're too kind to notice how often they make you question your reality just to keep their secrets safe. You think they're protecting your feelings, when in truth, they're protecting their lies. You're so innocent, you think the tension in the room is your fault, not their guilt. You still believe they left because they needed space, not because they'd already found someone to fill yours. You have no idea how many people envy your peace enough to disturb it just to feel powerful. You think your calm keeps things stable, but it only helps them hide the chaos they cause. You're so pure-hearted that betrayal doesn't even cross your mind until it's already done. You still think they're honest because they cry, but crocodile tears can drown the truth too. You think they're ignoring you because they're hurt, not realizing silence is their favorite weapon. You're too trusting to see that some people test your loyalty only to measure their control. You still believe love can fix broken souls, not realizing some only love you to keep you broken too. You're so innocent, you mistake their emotional chaos for depth. You think their distance is mystery, not manipulation. You're too pure to understand that some people compliment you just to plant their envy closer. You still believe that everyone who listens cares, but some just collect stories to gossip later. You're so soft, you end up comforting the people who hurt you. You still think you're healing together, but they're just watching you do all the work. You have no idea that while you're forgiving, they're already planning their next mistake. You're too gentle to see that they love your energy, but hate your peace. You still believe your love can awaken them, not realizing it's only teaching them how to fake emotions better. You're so innocent. You see beauty in every broken person, forgetting that not everyone wants to be healed. You think their care is real, but it's conditional. They only love you when you're easy to control. You're too kind to notice how your loyalty becomes their convenience. You still believe silence is peace, but sometimes silence is just guilt wearing a mask. You think they admire your vulnerability, not realizing they use it to keep you small. You're so innocent, you keep explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You believe love always wins, not realizing manipulation plays by its own rules. You think their concern is genuine, but it's curiosity disguised as care. You're too good to see that some people hold your hand just to guide you into their trap. You still think they ghosted you because they're scared, not because they're bored. You're so innocent. You believe words over actions, forgetting how easy it is to lie beautifully. You think they remember your love, but they only remember how easy it was to be forgiven. You're too pure to understand that their kindness was bait, not affection. You still think people mirror your goodness, but some only mirror to manipulate. You believe their sadness is real, not realizing it's rehearsed to reset your sympathy. You're so innocent, you mistake familiarity for safety. You still think they're protecting you from pain, but they're just protecting their image. You think distance means detachment, but sometimes it's how they watch you unravel without guilt. You're too gentle to realize your silence teaches they can get away with everything. You still believe closure is peace, but it's often just another chance for them to rewrite the story. You think they're kind because they speak softly, forgetting that snakes never roar. You're so innocent. You think they miss you, but they only miss your attention. You still believe promises are sacred, not realizing they break them without losing sleep. You think their loyalty is love, but it's just convenience disguised as devotion. You're too forgiving to see that your healing has become their habit. You still think love is enough, but love without boundaries only invites pain. You think their silence means reflection. It really means replacement. You're so innocent, you let nostalgia trick you into believing they've changed. You still think your honesty will earn their respect, not realizing they use it as ammunition. You believe your heart will teach them love, but they only learn how to imitate it. You're too kind to see that they apologize only to reset your trust, not rebuild it. You think love softens cruelty, but sometimes it only sharpens it. You're so innocent. You still look for meaning in their mixed signals.